Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on this. Do you know what we're looking at? Do you remember this place? We are looking at a very historically significant building behind me because it was either nearby in a hotel or in this very house that on February 2nd, 1863, young Samuel Clemens first signed a letter as Mark Twain. That's right, we're back in Carson City, Nevada. This building right behind me was the home of Mark Twain, the famous author, yes, Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, that Mark Twain, of his brother, Orion Clemens. Thanks to helping campaign for him in Missouri, Orion Clemens was appointed by Abraham Lincoln himself to be Secretary of the Territory of Nevada, when Nevada wasn't even a state yet. That means Mark Twain's brother came to live here and basically help run the government. And of course, rather than having to fight in the Civil War, good old Sam Clemens, aka Mark Twain, was like, you know what I'd rather do? Not fight and go to Nevada, maybe be a miner. And while good old Mark Twain was running around being a wild miner and then a newspaper reporter, he came to Carson City to cover a story and signed his first letter to the newspaper as Mark Twain. There's no way to know for sure, but he would often stay inside of this 10-room house that his brother had built here at the height of his brother's success. He was never too successful after that. So this might be the very house in which the world's maybe most famous nom de plume was first written. And look, there's little Allie taking pictures. A lot of historical guides and things refer to this, just like this piece of concrete, as the home of Mark Twain, which isn't technically true. Mark Twain never actually lived in the house, but his brother did, and his brother's wife did, and his young niece. I've done a couple other videos here before and talked about the history and just looked at the outside of this house, which is now, of course, a lawyer's office, but it's always good to come back and take a peek. Allie and I saw like a historical walking tour. A bunch of senior citizens come by and they just said, "It's number 9." They all stopped and read a paragraph on their papers and kept walking. So other than that, I don't think this house gets too many visitors of the non-visiting their lawyer kind, but still. As a huge Mark Twain fan, this is awesome. Mark Twain slept here. The house has changed a little bit. It used to have wooden siding and not this crazy stucco, and I think the porch has been changed just a little bit, but look at the rounded porch. More or less still the same as it was when Orion Clemens lived here. This was considered to be the fanciest house in the territory when it was first built, and Mark Twain later had some pretty round porches on his house in Connecticut. So maybe stealing a little from his brother? Anyway, Allie and I have to head back home to Southern California today, so I wanted to dip over the mountains, not just to see Mark Twain's brother's house, but also to visit a place where Mark Twain spent quite a lot of time. Quick, to the Mustang! Look, the capital of Nevada! Back behind all those trees was the state capitol building for Nevada. But while Orion was down here handling Nevada becoming a state, you know, being fancy and whatnot, Sam Clemens, Mark Twain, was up in the mountains being a wild newspaper reporter in an old mining town. So it's time for us to head out into the wilds of Nevada in the old west. Yesterday I took Allie to one of her favorite places on the earth by taking you to the pumpkin farm. Now it's my turn. One of my favorite places. Time to head up to Virginia City. Gotta watch for wild ponies on the road, man. There's freaking wild Mustangs out here. Not just my wild Mustang, like actual horses. All up and down this road, all you see are old mines and old pits and barbed wire saying keep out. Like right here, this is Silver City. Look at all this stuff. Just all these remnants of the boom years of the Comstock Lode. So much mining stuff. They're pretty strict on the whole 25-mile-per-hour thing here. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff. This is the real Old West right here. Oh, we're going into Story County. Look at the road just blasted out between all the crags and rocks. There's still mining going on right over here. Last time I was out here, they were rerouting the road and blasting in a mine like right next to the road. So there were all these signs like, warning, at this time PM.com, it will shake. They're still trying to get silver out of them there hills. This is Gold Hill, which is the sister city of Virginia City. Still a lot of mining remnants here too. Look at all this stuff. History! There's a haunted hotel in Gold Hill that I really want to stay at. Look, right there. but I've never had the chance. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. I love it up in this area. I could spend a week here, but we're just popping in to say hello to old Virginia City today. Oh yes, we're back in Virginia City. Would you just look at that view? You can see for miles and miles and miles. And look at that drop. Each street drops pretty much a story or 2 stories down to the next street in Virginia City, built up here on the side of old Mount Davidson. At least I think it's Mount Davidson. It's been a while since I've been here, but Virginia City is the center of the old Comstock Lode, the biggest silver boom in history. When you take a look down the main drag of Virginia City, you are taking a look right down into the real, authentic history of the Old West. Look at this, here's the monument for the Comstock Lode. Oh yeah, 6 Mile Canyon, that's what that view is called. And even better than the fact that there's all these old-timey Victorian era buildings up here on the side of the mountain is the fact that under the mountain, there are miles and miles and miles of tunnels and mines. Flooded, abandoned, haunted, all right beneath our feet. See, look right here on the side of the Bucket of Blood Saloon. Look at this right here. That's all down beneath us right now. All right, before I can go into the bucket of blood or anything else that's super weird, I gotta go pay a visit to my favorite historical site in Virginia City. Right over here in the Mark Twain Museum. This building was once the home of the Territorial Enterprise, the newspaper that Mark Twain wrote for. The actual building that Mark Twain would have been in has burned to the ground, but it all collapsed in on the basement, and this building was rebuilt on the exact same site. Don't get me wrong, this Territorial Enterprise building is still super old, authentic Old West, but I'm just talking about the original building that was here before the fire. So the one place the fire didn't get was the basement, and that is where we are headed right now. We're going to be led into the basement, down the steep steps. I love stuff like this. I love stuff like this. Yes. I love this place. Dude, those stairs are so high and steep and creaky and old, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, the basement of the Territorial Enterprise. Look at this. This is an original desk from the old newspaper office. Mark Twain probably would have wrote at this desk. I mean, if you wanted to be cynical, you could put citation needed on that and ask for the provenance. But I choose to participate in the fun. Mark Twain's desk. Look at this old stone compositing table, all cracked from when stuff fell on it when this collapsed during the fire. People slept on this table, ate on this table. Sam Clemens was here in his Wild West days. Oh, here is a picture of Virginia City as it was in the Twain times. This entire town burned down, I think a couple of times, so not much of this Virginia City is left up there. But look, that was the original Territorial Enterprise office where Mark Twain worked. A lot of old printing equipment in here. Some old graffiti up on the wall. That's so cool. Look at this old typecase. See, some of this was found in the bottom of the building. Some of it came from other newspapers and other places. But some of this stuff would have come from the actual office Mark Twain worked in. Look, an old copy. Okay, and here it is. Here is my favorite Mark Twain historical site in Virginia City. Look at this. It's the old toilet seat. It's the old original basement privy. Mark Twain sat right here. Allie, Mark Twain's butt touched this wood.
Kiss it.
I'm touched. What?
Kiss it.
No! I'm not gonna kiss it. I am touching it though, which almost makes me a Mark Twain butt toucher. That's amazing. And right here, next to it, the old bathtub from the building. Not sure that dates back to the Twain days, but still. This is how they prevented themselves from being dirty journalists. Now, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to sit on the old toilet, but I can squat over it and pretend I'm Mark Twain. I'm pooping. Whoa, what's this? I don't remember seeing this last time. Our mummies were commissioned for Virginia City by the Real Fake Mummy Company of Arizona. It's a good company. In 1910, they put these in the windows to fool travelers. Dude, those are weird. I would love to have one of those. Allie, call up the Real Fake Mummy Company. We're getting a new souvenir. Oh. I love all the old hand-painted signs. I really want that Mark Twain Museum sign outside. Like, if they ever get rid of it, I hope they give it to me. Look at that old paper cutter. You don't want to put your arm in there. Last time I was here, I was talking to the owner or the owner's son or something like that, and they were telling me that most of these boards on the floor in the basement are original. This is precious Mark Twain floor. Ah, look at this old stuff. Awesome. I don't know where those doors lead, but what's crazy is there are a lot of places in Virginia City where you can enter the old Comstock mining tunnels from underground. Oh look, Nevada's first switchboard for telephones. That's neat. Anyway, most of them are all stopped up and blocked up to keep people like me from falling to my death. Whenever I walk around here, I like to think about how creepy it is that there are just miles of abandoned tunnels underneath us. Okay, time to go back up. Goodbye, Mark Twain toilet. Ah, I love it in there. I love it. See, what makes Virginia City so special is look at all the balconies left and all the little decorative stuff. There are tons of Victorian era and Old West towns in the United States. Most of all of this stuff, all the overhangs and all the little decorative stuff on top of the buildings, most of that's all missing now. If you live in the USA, it's pretty likely that you had a part of your town that looked just like this. Old school Main Street, USA. Uh-oh. Allie's looking at her enemies in here in the trap. Look, those are your dead enemies. You should be... Yeah, there you go. Pretty windy up here. Last night we stayed in Carson City, but normally I stay in Virginia City at this place. The old Molinelli's Hotel, or as it's known today, the Silver Queen. This place is built on the site of the first territorial enterprise building, so that means that Mark Twain first became Mark Twain while writing in a building on this spot. So that's the first awesome thing. It's also supposed to be super, super haunted. It's been on TV a bunch of times, like on those ghost hunting shows, you know? Oh, you like ghosts. Look, it's the ghost hunter's delight. And then here's one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. Look at this guy. There's old Mark Twain himself, staring at a one-armed, lady. See, look, Allie, they've been on ghost adventures 3 times and people get married in here. Ooh. Just look, just look. Look at that old bar. This is epic in here. Look, autographed posters. Completely real. I did a video of 5 weird things in Virginia City on my other channel. Google it. It's pretty cool. And this was on it. It was also featured in Ripley's Believe It or Not. This is the Silver Queen. More than 3,000 silver coins in this painting. Look at the size of that queen. They're really proud of her. They even have a painting of the giant painting. And somewhere back here, they used to have a cake of the painting, but I think it's gone the way of the buffalo. Zombie! Look at this. There's a little shooting gallery in here. I never noticed that before. Oof, and a giant slot machine. Look, I just love all these old hand-painted signs. You can learn a lot if you read. Hey, come in. Look at the wedding chapel. Here it is. Here it is, the wedding chapel. Ooh la la. What do you think, Allie? Look at this place. Kind of creepy, a little bit spooky. What do you think? Should we get married in here someday? This could be the place. Look at this old piano that came across the plains in 1873. Can you imagine bringing a piano in by wagon over the United States before the trains were complete? The saloons were making money. They had to bring pianos in somehow. Yeah, I think that's it. That could be it. Future. Oh, and I could wear this top hat. The only thing is this top hat and that wedding hat right there are super haunted. So now you are going to be followed by a ghost. Yay. Look, you have your wedding reception right out here in the saloon. Then all you have to do is go around the corner and up the stairs, and you can have your honeymoon up here. Look at that, stairs. I used to have to walk up there. Every time I stayed here, I had to walk up and down these stairs. That's like 2 or 3 stories of stairs just packed really close together. Pretty high ceilings in the Old West. Dude, so steep too. And this leads to the haunted hotel. Oh, that's the haunted room right there. Creepy. Number 11's the haunted one, right?
Honey, they're all haunted. The whole town's haunted.
The whole town's haunted? Huh?
Everything burnt down.
That's the one they say is haunted, Allie.
How many washcloths?
Number 11. Yeah, I stayed in here a couple times. I stayed upstairs, and last time I stayed right in the back of the building. What number was it? Number 7. I didn't see any ghosts. I was only haunted by my own loneliness. Luckily, I'm not haunted like that anymore, 'cause you're here. Dude, look at all this stuff back on B Street, Virginia City. Full of cool old stuff. There's Piper's Opera House right there, a pretty famous Virginia City landmark. This particular iteration of Piper's Opera House was built in 1885. I'm pretty sure it was the 3rd one. Things tended to burn down a few times in Virginia City before they got them right. Mark Twain was here in the early 1860s, so he didn't go to this version. Okay, I spent a little bit of time here in Virginia City, and I have never noticed this. This is either new or I just somehow missed this. Look at the Virginia City time travel machine. It's only 2.5 cents per person. Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a propane tank? What do you think, Allie?
I wanna go.
You wanna go? Sweet. All right, we'll hop in here. Oh, it's occupied. Someone's using it right now. We'll come back later. Look at this, the old circa 1876 Story County Courthouse. Looks like they're doing a little work out here. This thing has the old county jail in it too. And for a while there was a prison museum, and every time I would come to Virginia City, there'd be a guy out here in like an old convict uniform with the stripes. Hey, maybe that's where I got the stripes from. And every time I'd tell him next time. And now the museum, I heard, closed. I snoozed. And then I losed. Look at all these old-timey houses. I love Virginia City. Awesome. I love seeing all the old faded ghost writing. And look at this. This is private residence. Somebody lives in there. In a town this old, everything's been repurposed time and time again. Look, there's a door up there on one level. Then there's a door here on another level. And then there's another level down there at street level. That's how steep it is here from one street to another. Pretty awesome. This here was the old bank. Now it's the Ponderosa Saloon, and it has guided underground mine tours. I did it last time. I don't know if they'll be having a tour today. Ooh, look at that. Look, there's the old bank vault. This vault is from the original bank from 1864, which means that Mark Twain could have entered this bank vault. Look at that. It's gold. Ooh, look at those old silver coins too. I want some. Ooh, that's the way into their miniature mine shaft where they do the little mine tour. Looks like they're not going to be back for a little while. Maybe we'll try to come back. Let's go see some more stuff. Oh, and then they got the old Washoe Club where they have a haunted tour in there. I think I did that on one of my Virginia City videos too on my other channel. We're not in the tourist season or else we could see an old Virginia gunfight. We're actually here right at the beginning of the off season in Virginia City. I'm just coming up the road now here because I remember there being one particularly weird store trying to find the weird, you hear that? Train whistle. I never did the railroad here either. Huh. Do you feel that though? I sense a weirdness. I sense the weirdness growing. Yes, here it is. Sawdust Trails, located in one of the oldest buildings in Virginia City. I did a vlog here before, an unedited one. But look at this, I don't think I ever noticed this before. 1860, that means Mark Twain was probably in here. Yeah, go in, Allie. Oh my gosh, look. Pajamas. Dude, yes. Oh yes. This is starting to look very familiar. I remember this place because it rocks so much. Cool necklaces, geodes, giant bear, human skull, coonskin cap, elephant face hat, dream catchers, and jackalopes back there. Basically all your essential typical Old West stuff. And then let's not forget about this. Clint Eastwood landed himself in jail. Bow and arrows and pirate swords, mining hats. This place has a little bit of everything. Check this, Allie. This is the best part. The shooting gallery. The indoor shooting gallery. This place has so much rad stuff. The owner's busy talking to someone in the next room, but there is a video back on this channel where he and I walk through the whole place and look at all the weird stuff, so it's good to be back. All right, you ready, Allie? You ready to try your hand? All right, here we go. Shoot, shoot. Whoa, shoot that guy in the crotch.
You're shooting at you, cross-eyed mule.
Shoot the outhouse guy.
Close that door, it's freezing outside.
Let me have a turn. Maybe you should do the shooting. So rad.
Moonshine go.
What the heck?
Where'd all the moonshine go?
That's creepy.
Game's over, partner.
Whoa. I love gift shops like this. There need to be more gift shops like this everywhere. Really, every kind of shop needs this much creativity and this much attention to detail. Theming, theming, theming. If your shop is decked out with theming, people will come. You enjoying the wacky mirror? Look at that. She's so happy. Oh, for once you were tall. Oh. Okay. I want this book. Look at that up there. They're ready to blast. Sweet arrows and snakes.
Power of the cobra.
Oh, now I know why it's so weird in here. We're leaving. We're leaving. If you're ever in Virginia City, Sawdust Trails, and look at the size of that gun. You can blow away the whole world with that thing. I forgot he has this secondary store too. Also equally themed. Look at this. This is how you want to display your candy. right there. The sheriff's office. Look at all this stuff in here. It's not just for nerds. Look at this. I love this. Look at all the little ore cars. And look at this model mine here, Allie. That is freaking cool. I want that. See, I like weird stuff like that, but where the heck would I keep it right now? Dude, look at this place. Oh, there's people taking fun pics in here. And why not? It's the perfect place for fun pics. The perfect place for fun pics. Ooh, it's hard to say. Look at that's one way to keep people out of the back. Oh, and then look, there's a little Captain Jack's section. If there's one thing I noticed about these guys' shops, is that they have plenty of pirate equipment up here in the Old West. I love places like this. Ollie, fun pic. Oh, this might be a good time to mention. I forgot my wallet, so I don't have any bail money. See you later, though. We'll talk. FaceTime. Yes, sir. And if all that weirdness wasn't enough for you, come stop at K-Dog's Premium Cigars. They're dope. See, look at this. This is typical Virginia City right here. We're just walking along on the street, and all of a sudden, you go from street level to the hole where buildings used to be. Down there, there's a school. Out there, there's a mine, and look at that view. Beautiful up here. God's country. Look at this place. Frontierland in real life. Speaking of Frontierland, when Disney's Imagineers were planning out Disneyland Paris, they actually centered a lot of their research and inspiration around Virginia City, and nowhere is that influence more obvious than the place that we are going next. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on Nevada City's most famous landmark. This is the 4th Ward School, or maybe better known to you Disney fans as the inspiration for the Phantom Manor. They built this bad boy in 1875, and this particular building provided a lot of inspiration for the Phantom Manor at Disneyland Paris. Look at it. It looks just like it, huh? Every time I go to Paris, people are like, oh, the Psycho House, oh, the Psycho House. The Psycho House was designed to look like this, and so was Phantom Manor. Every time I've come to Virginia City, I have meant to go into the 4th Ward School, but I always get distracted because there's so much to do here. If you look on my other channel, I have a video where I go into the Phantom Manor at Disneyland Paris, and you can see all the crazy architectural similarities. The very tippy top is different, but for the most part, let me tell you, standing here in front of this place, I feel like the Phantom's gonna peek out one of the windows at me. Come on, Allie, let's go inside. They say this place is haunted too by the spirits of little children. Ooh, it's like a TARDIS. It's even bigger on the inside. Dude, this is very old school. I mean, literally. How old school, right? Honestly, look at the size of these rooms. This is nicer than any school I ever went to. Hey, look it. It's that part that we drove through to come out to Virginia City in between the rock. It has a name. It's called the Devil's Gate. We drove through the Devil's Gate. I wish I had known that before. That's so awesome. Here's all these rad displays about the Comstock. Dang, here's a picture of Virginia City in 1878. Most of the stuff we were looking at was down here. Here's the school, which now is like kind of all by itself. Didn't realize there was so much town up here that's obviously burned down over time. A lot of stuff about Mark Twain's book that covered a lot of Virginia City called Roughing It. That was Mark Twain's 2nd book. And one of my favorites. Yeah, crazy how much more stuff used to be here. Look at Once Upon a Time. But what's really crazy, honestly, is how much stuff is still left here. You could spend a week here and probably not see and do every single thing. Never think about the fact that the miners had to work down there by freaking candlelight. Just down in a mile below the earth with nothing but a candle to light your way. You would have been a good miner, Allie, because those tunnels are really short. You wouldn't have had to duck. Across the hall. School days on the Comstock. Dang, they used this school for a lot longer than I thought they did. Apparently all the way up till at least 1930. I bet a lot of children were whooped in this very room. If you were a daydreamer like me, you had a pretty plush view out the window. Dude, look at that. That's awesome. Imagine being a miner's kid, going to school, and you can see all the other miners down there going to work. Trains rolling by. Oh, look. Allie's learning. I love how you fit in those desks. It's kind of a tight squeeze for me. Wow. Look at that old hole for an inkwell. That's awesome. See, if I had sat behind you, I could have taken your hair, your ponytail, and dipped it in the ink. Prank. Dip, dip, dip. You would have had a crush on me for sure. Ooh, time for the vintage classroom exhibit. That's crazy. This says between 1875 In 1876, there were 3,000 children on the Comstock. You know, rarely is the question asked, is our children learning? Every once in a while, there's this noise like boom, whee! Sounds like a banshee starts screaming, and that's just the wind outside hitting the building. I'm surprised this building is still standing after all the years of wind. Oh, look at you. You'd be a cute teacher. If you were my teacher, I would have brought you an apple. And had a pretty big crush on you, so. Yeah. They say that the students of Virginia City were the smartest students of all the students. And you want to know what their secret was, Allie? They had this. The book of knowledge. Doesn't really matter what books they had, though. I'm such a class clown. I definitely would have ended up over there. The D stands for dumb. And now up the stairs. This place is huge. Each flight of stairs feels like you're going up 2 stories. So each story is like 2 stories. And there's 3 stories. So it feels like 6 stories. And that's the end of my story. What's that say?
Mark Twain room.
Mark Twain room? Ooh. The Mark Twain. There's old Sammy Clemens. Oh, that's cool. Look, there's the house in Hannibal, Missouri. We've been there. Hey, look. They got the steamboat, the old steamboat at Walt Disney World. There's the Haunted Mansion. That's kind of weird. Talking about his life in Virginia City and afterwards. That's pretty cool. I wonder if they made any of the kids that went to school here read Mark Twain. I bet they did. Oh, look it. They must have. Look right here. Roughing It. That's the one about Virginia City, partially. Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, talking about how rowdy all the journalists were out here, having duels and getting kind of tipsy. This is awesome. I didn't know any of this was here. Look at that. Mark Twain doll and Territorial Enterprise dollhouse. See, right now up here, this little walled off area, they have that set up like a little typesetting office, but that wall is actually part of the school, so what in the world do you think this little caged area would have been up in this classroom? Maybe it's where the AV club used to meet. This place is awesome, but I do not think that I would want to be in here alone after dark. The 3rd floor is currently off limits. A large part of the 2nd floor looks like they have room for some special events. Look at the top picture of Virginia City. This picture was taken after 2/3 of the city burned down, and there's still way more stuff back then than there is today. That is a pretty wild contrast. Dude, do you hear that? You could straight up record every horror movie wind noise you would ever need for every movie ever till the end of time in here. Okay, one more room here. Ooh, this display is talking about going deep, something I know a lot about. Cutting way down deep into the earth, shoring up the mine with squared off timbers, making sure the whole mountain doesn't come down on your head. They have to build all these crazy hoists to get all that stuff in and out of the mine. Look at this, was just one of the mines on the old Comstock, the old Savage mine. Look at that freaking complex map of stuff, all the square timbers and all the little paths and nooks and crannies to get lost into. Look at all those mines and how freaking huge and deep they went and how they crisscrossed all over each other. That is pretty wild. That thing out there, right there, that's the combination mine shaft. That shaft is 3,200 feet deep. If you fell down there, you would probably definitely break bones, and you definitely look flatter. Okay, time to head back down. Ugh. That's a big drop. Forget the mine combination shaft or whatever. That's a scary fall for me. Look at right across the street from the school out there. That's the old collar mine shaft. You wouldn't want to fall in that one either. That was right across the street from the school where all the children used to play. They still have the shaft open today because bats fly in and out of there. So bats gotta have somewhere to live. I like bats. Are you scared of bats, Alan? You are? Why? They're not gonna do anything to you except for give you rabies. They just want to cuddle and get stuck in your hair. Oh, there's a basement down there in the school too. Not today. That was pretty cool. Old school. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the heck is this? Am I seeing things? It's the TARDIS. What in the world? What in the world? You know what this means, Allie? It means the doctor is here.
Doctor who?
Exactly. Look at this while you're driving through town today. You'll just run into random mines. Here's the old collar mine. Open from 1 to 4. Let's see. Not too many people down at the old mine today. This is another thing I haven't done in Virginia City yet. I really need to do next time. I do it right now, but I think they're already down doing one of the tours. We missed it. Look at all this stuff. I never really driven through town, only walked, so now I'm driving all these little streets and it's like, hey, there's a ton of leftover like mining equipment, little shacks everywhere. I love places like this. I believe I promised you lunch, so we'll get you food. I'm Mr. Gluten-Free, so I just really don't eat until I'm in my house. I forget that normal people need food from time to time, you know, actual food. Look how steep that is. You could drive onto the top of someone's house with one wrong turn. And then on this side of the car, normalness. All right, back up to town. All right, looking for food. There's some fudge over there. Probably need real food first, though. Food. Restaurant. Look at this sign says restaurant. Fine food at low prices. Looks a little closed. Oh, here we go. The Red Dog Saloon. Home of that authentic Old West cuisine. Pizza. All right. Push. Ooh. Hey, I remember this place. This is where I found Mountain Dew last time. Any place with Mountain Dew is a place for me. No matter how gluten-y their pizza is. You look so much happier and much more alive once there's a menu in front of you. Dang it, Allie. I hope we're gonna be able to get a table in here. I don't know. Hopefully someone gets up soon. Oh, sweet. Got us a booth. Over here. I found one. There you go. Happier now? Yeah, that's a lot of miles in just 2 days. All done? Okay, next up. Oh man, who could ever get sick of that view out there? Pretty crazy to be up so high. All right, after pizza, of course, we do the next Old Westy thing we possibly can and go to the Christmas store. You love Christmas. This is perfect for you. I love this store. I always want to go on the Ride Rudy ride, but small children only, please. Ooh. Christmas. Oh, Halloween ornaments. Wait a minute. We're supposed to be ignoring Christmas. It's Halloween. My favorite part of that store is the Bah Humbug Scrooge bench. That way if you're not in the Christmas mood, what a cool little store. In the Old West. Having an Old West Christmas. Alright, getting kind of late in the afternoon out here, which means Virginia City actually pretty much starts to shut down, especially on a Monday. But definitely do a little search on YouTube and find my old Virginia City videos like 5 Weird Things in Virginia City, etc., etc. I even did a whole video inside the graveyards of Virginia City. Pretty cool. But for now, even though there's a lot more antiques and amazing things to see, and train rides, and graveyards, and mine tours, I think for the moment anyway, we've done all we can. So we've had a barrel of fun, and we've done our duty. We can go home and sleep well. I touched Mark Twain's toilet.